This is the sixth video on Merchant of Venus, and uh, it- and we'll continue the story with Lancelot. Lancelot, okay? Yes, truly. I must see. This is uh, this Lancelot. Okay, Lancelot. Yes, the clown, Lancelot, and Jessica enter. Lancelot. Yes, truly. Yes, truly. Remember that the sins of the father fall upon his son. Therefore, I worry for you. I have always been straightforward with you, so I will tell you what I am troubled about. Cheer up, for I think you really are doomed. There is no hope that can result in any good for you, but that's only an illegitimate hope. Jessica, and what hope might that be? Lancelot. Well, you can hope that your father's not really your father, and that she was not really the Jew's daughter. Jessica, that I am an illegitimate child. That really is an illegitimate hope. In that case, it would be the sins of my mother falling to me. Lancelot, then I fear you are doomed because of your mother and your father. You are caught between a rock and a hard place with two of them, and you are doomed with both of them. Jessica, then I will be saved by my husband, and he has made me a Christian. Lancelot, then he is even more blameworthy. We had enough Christians already, as many as you could live well together. Making you a Christian will raise the price of pigs. If everyone starts to eat pork, it won't be long before we won't be able to cook some bacon for all the money in the world. Lorenzo enters. Jessica, Lancelot, I'll tell my husband what as you were saying. Here he comes. Lorenzo, I'll be jealous of you soon, Lancelot, if you keep taking my wife alone into corners like this. Jessica, no, you don't need to worry about us, Lorenzo. Lancelot and I aren't getting along. He tells me flat out that there is no mercy for me in heaven because I am a Jew's daughter. And he says you are not a good Christian because in converting Jews to Christianity, you raise the price of pork. Lorenzo, I can give a reply to that better than you can reply to the charge of sleeping with an African. The mule is pregnant with your child, Lancelot. Lancelot, there is more of the mule than there should be, but even if she is less than an honest woman, she is more than I thought she was. Lorenzo, any fool can play with puns. I think keeping quiet is the best sign of a true wit. Empty talk is only good for parrots. Go and tell everyone to prepare for dinner. Lancelot, they are already prepared, sir. They all have their stomachs. Lorenzo, what a sharp wit you have. Go tell them to get dinner ready. Lancelot, that's done too, sir. The table just needs to be set. Lorenzo, will you cover it then? Lancelot, no, sir, I won't. I know my place. Lorenzo, even more annoying nonsense. Will you exhaust your stool of wit any time soon? Please understand what I plainly mean. Go to your fellow servants, tell them to cover the table and serve the meat, and we will then come in to have dinner. Lancelot said, I will serve the table and cover the meat. Come in for dinner, sir, whenever you like. Lancelot exit. Lorenzo. What a way he has with words. That fool has an army of peculiar words at his disposal, and I don't know of any fool better at avoiding things with wordplay. How are you doing, Jessica? And tell me your opinion, sweetie. How do you like Lord Bassanio's wife? Jessica, I like her more than I can say. Lord Bassanio must have lived a very virtuous life, for he has found such a blessing in his wife that he seems to have found the joys of heaven here on earth. And if he doesn't deserve this happiness on earth, then he doesn't deserve it in heaven. If two gods were making some heavenly bet and used two women on their wager, and one chose Portia, and the other one wouldn't be able to find her equal anywhere on earth. Lorenzo, I am as good a husband to you as she is a good wife to Bassanio. Jessica, but ask my opinion on that matter too. Lorenzo, I will soon. Let's go to dinner first. Jessica, no, let me press you now before we eat. Lorenzo, no, please. Let's talk about it at the dinner table. Then I'll digest what you say, along with everything else. Jessica, I won't disappoint. Jessica and Lorenzo exit. Duke, the Duke, the nobleman, Antonio, Bassanio, Gratiano, Salerio, and others enter. Duke. Well, is Antonio here? Antonio. I'm here and ready as you please. Duke. I'm sorry for you. You have come here to face an adversary as stubborn as a rock, an inhuman wretch incapable of pity, completely empty of a single drop of mercy. Antonia, I have heard that you have tried your hardest to change his rigid mind, but since he remains stubborn and there is nothing I can do legally to escape him, I will meet his anger with patience and suffer this tyranny and rage quietly. Duke, one of you men go and tell the chief to come to the court. Salerio, he is waiting outside the door. Here he comes, my lord. Shylock enters. Duke, make room so that he can stand right in front of me. Shylock, everyone thinks that I agree that you are just putting on a show of such malice until the very last minute, and then as you will at last show some mercy and remorse, something maybe even more shocking to see from you than your cruelty. It is widely thought that you will not only forget about the penalty upon of this poor merchant's flesh, but will even let some of the money go, touched by human gentleness and love, out of pity for the losses that recently have come to weigh upon Antonio, which were enough to ruin a royal merchant, enough to make even the stone-hearted to feel bad for him, enough to make even the stubborn Turks and Tartars who aren't used to showing any courtesy take pity on him. We all expect a gentle reply to this from you too. Shylock, Your Grace, I have told you what my intention is, and I have sworn by the holy Sabbath to take what is owed to me by our legal contract. If you deny me this rightful penalty, it will reflect poorly upon your city and its freedom. I'm sure you are going to ask me why I would choose to have pound of flesh rather than the 3,000 ducats I've been offered. I won't give you any answer other than to say I just feel like it. Is that enough of an answer? What if I had a rent in my house and I felt like paying 10,000 tickets to have it killed? Is that enough of an answer for you? Some men dislike pigs, others go crazy if they see a cat, and others can't help but urinate when they hear the bagpipes. People's likes and dislikes are fickle and depend on a person's mood. Now, as for your answer, just as a man who dislikes pigs or who dislikes a harmless cat or who can't help but embarrassingly urinate at the sound of bagpipes has no real reason to this. So I can give no reason and want to give one aside from my long-standing hate and I and loathing for Antonio for following through on our agreement. Is that enough of an answer for you? Basanya, this is not a sufficient answer, you unfeeling man, to execute your cruelty. Shylock, I don't have to please you with answers. Basanya, do all men kill things like they dislike? Shylock, wouldn't everyone like to kill the things they hate? Basanya, not every act of wrongdoing must lead to hate. Shylock, what would you let a snake sting you twice? Antonio, to Basanya, please, are you trying to reason with the Jew? You might as well go stand on the beach and ask the tide not to come in as high as its custom. You might as well ask the wolf why he makes the ewe cry by eating the lamb. You might as well forbid the mountain pines from swaying with their high tops and tell them to make no noise when gusts of wind blow through them. You might as well do anything impossible as try to open his Jewish heart. Is there anything harder than his heart? Therefore, I ask you to make no more offers and use no more strategies and to persuade him. Rather, let judgment be passed on me and let the Jew have his way without any more delay. Bassanio to Shylock, here's 6,000 ducats instead of the 3,000 for you. Shylock, I wouldn't take your offer if it were 6 times 6,000 ducats. I would still take what is legally owed to me, Duke. How can you hope for mercy if you don't show it yourself? Shylock, why should I worry about mercy when I have done nothing wrong? As you have among you many purchased slaves that you use horribly, like donkeys, dogs, and mules, because you bought them. Should I tell you to free them and marry them to your heirs? Why do you make them sweat doing work? Why not let their beds be as soft as yours and let them eat the same fine foods as you? If I said that, you'd tell me that the slaves are yours. I give you the same answer. I have bought the pound of flesh that I demand from him. It is mine, and I will have it. If you deny me, your laws mean nothing, and there is no power to legal agreements in Venice. What's your opinion of that? Tell me what your response is. Duke, I have the power to dismiss this court unless Bellario, our learned doctor of law, comes here today. I have sent for him to decide about this case. Celerio, my lord, there is a messenger standing just outside with letters from Bellario, and he is just arrived from Padua. Duke, bring me the letter and the call messenger in. Bassanio, cheer up. Antonio, keep your courage, man, that you will have all my flesh, blood, and bones before I tell him and take one drop of blood from you on my account. Antonio, I am like a diseased sheep in a flock, one who ought to die. The weakest fruit drops earliest to the ground. Let me drop like that fruit. The best thing you can do, Bassanio, is stay alive and write my epitaph. Nerissa enters, disguised as a law clerk. Duke, have you come from Padua, from Bellario? Nerissa, yes, from both. My lord, Bellario sends his greetings, Your Grace. Nerissa gives the Duke a letter. Shylock sharpens a knife on the bottom of his shoe. Bassanio to Shylock, why are you sharpening your knife so eagerly? Shylock, to cut what is owed to me off of that bankrupt man over there. Gratiano, you should be sharpening your knife not on the sole of your shoe, harsh you, but on your hardened soul. But no blade, not even the executioner's axe, is half as sharp as your sharp and mine. Can no prayers pierce your stubborn heart? Shylock, no, at least no prayers than you are smart enough to make. Gratiano, oh, damn you, you relentless dog. Hope justice comes to you. You always make me change my mind and agree with Pythagoras that the souls of animals enter the bodies of men. You have the spirit of a dog, of a wolf, that was killed for killing a human. But even as it was being killed, its soul left its body and entered you while you were in your mother's pregnant belly. Your desires are wolfish, bloody, starved, and ravenous. Shylock, unless you can rip the official seal off my contract, all as you are doing by speaking so loudly is hurting your own lungs. Take care of your mind, young man, or it will fall apart with time. I support the law. Duke, this letter from Bellario recommends a young and well-educated doctor of law to our court. Where is this man? Nerissa. He is waiting nearby to hear whether she will let him into the court. Duke, with all my heart, I'll let him in. 3 or 4 of you go and courteously bring him here. In the meantime, the court will hear Bellario's letter. He reads the letter aloud. Your Grace should understand that at the time as you are reading this, I am very sick, but when your messenger came to me, I happen to have a young lawyer from Rome visiting. His name is Balthazar. I told him about the controversial case between the Jew and Antonio the merchant. We consulted many law books together. He knows my opinion on the matter, which has been enriched by his own intelligence, which I can't speak highly enough, and he brings me my opinion to you in my place. I beg you, don't let his young age make you underestimate him. I have never seen a young man with so much wisdom. I hope you will welcome him graciously, and you will see how worthy of my recommendation he is. Portia, disguised as a lawyer, Balthazar enters. You all have heard that the educated Bellario has returned, and I assume this is the lawyer coming now. To Portia as Balthazar. Balthazar, give me your hand. I have you come from old Bellario? Bellario? Portia, yes, my lord. Duke, welcome. Take your place here. Are you familiar with the different sides of the case facing the court right now? Portia, I have been thoroughly informed about the case, which one of these men is the merchant and which is the Jew. Duke, Antonio and old Shylock, both of you come forward. Portia, is your name Shylock? Shylock. Shylock is my name. Shylock is my name. Portia, you are pursuing a strange case, but there is nothing under Venetian law that can stop you from proceeding. To Antonio, you are at his mercy, aren't you? Antonio, yes, as Shylock says. Portia, do you confess that you have broken the agreement? Antonio, I do. Portia, then the Jew must be merciful. Shylock, why must I? Tell me why, Portia. Maths is not something that one is forced to practice. It falls easily like gentle rain from the sky. It is a doubly blessed thing. It blesses both the person showing mercy and the person receiving mercy. Mercy is most admirable in the mightiest man. It looks better on a king than his crown. A king's scepter is a symbol of his earthly power, a source of awe and majesty, which makes people respect and fear him. But But mercy is about the power of the scepter. It dwells in the hearts of kings. It is an attribute of God Himself, and earthly power resembles God's power when justice is mixed with mercy. Therefore, Jew, although as you are seeking justice, consider this: if God sought justice against all of us with no mercy, we would all go to hell. We pray to God for mercy, and that same prayer should and teach us all to show mercy to others. This is what I have to say against your desire to seek justice and to make the strict court of Venice carry out the merchant's punishment. Shylock, my deeds are my responsibility. I want the law to be upheld, the penalty that which he must forfeit because of the loan. Portia, can he not pay the money back? Bassanio. Yes, here I have the money for him in the court, even twice the sum. If that is not enough, I will pay 10 times the sum of money, or else I give up my hands, my head, my heart. If none of this is enough, then Shylock's malice overwhelms his honesty. To the Duke, and I beg you, bend the law to your authority, violate the law a little to do the right thing, and stop this cruel devil from getting what he wants. Portia. He must not do that. No one in Venice is powerful enough to alter an agreed upon decree. It would set a bad precedent, and many errors would be made by following it as an example that cannot happen. Shylock. Daniel is now judging. Yes, Daniel, honor you, wise young judge. Portia, please let me look at the document. Shylock. He gives Portia a document. Here it is, most honorable lawyer. Here it is. Portia. Shylock, you are being offered three times the money you are owed. Shylock. An oath. I have made an oath by heaven. Should I backtrack on my oath and make my soul guilty of perjury? No, not even for all of Venice. Portia. Well, the penalty must be paid. The Jew may lawfully claim a pound of flesh to be cut off from near the merchant's heart. Be merciful, Shylock. Take three times the money. Tell me to tear up the agreement. Shylock. You can tear it up after the debt has been paid. It seems that you are a worthy judge. You know the law. Your interpretation has been correct. I order you, by the law which you must obey, to go on and make judgment. By my soul, I swear that nothing anyone can say can change my mind. I am here to get what is owed to me in the contract. Antonio, with all my heart, I ask the court to issue its judgment. Portia, well, then this is it. You must prepare your chest for this night. Shylock, what a noble judge, what an excellent young man. Portia, the intent and purpose of the law relates to the penalty which has been agreed upon in the contract. Shylock, that's very true. What a wise and just judge you are, wise beyond your years. Portia to Antonio, therefore lay bare your chest. Shylock, yes, his heart. That's what the contract says, doesn't it, noble judge? Near his heart. Those are the very words. Portia, that is right. Do we have a scale here to weigh the flesh? Shylock, I have it ready, Portia. Have some surgeon on call nearby, Shylock, to stop Antonio's wound so he doesn't bleed to death. Shylock, is this expelled out in the contract? Is this spelled out in the contract? Portia. It is not said explicitly, but so what? It would be good for you to do it out of charity. Shylock, I can't find it in the contract. It's not in the contract. Portia to Antonio, you merchant, do you have anything to say? Antonio, just a little. I am ready and well prepared. Give your hand, Bassanio. Farewell, don't grieve because I have fallen into this misfortune on your behalf. For even in this situation, fortune has shown herself to be kinder than she usually is. She usually makes a wretched man outlive his wealth, so that when he is old and has a wrinkled brow, he looks on his own poverty. She at least cuts me off from this lingering misery. Speak well of me to your honorable wife. Tell her how I met my end. Tell her how I love you. Speak well of me after I die. And after you tell her, let her be the judge as to whether you have ever had a loving friend. Only regret that you are losing a friend, and know that your friend does not regret paying your debt for you. If the Jew cuts deeply enough, I'll gladly pay the debt with my own heart. Masania, and Antonio, I am married to a wife who is as dear to me as life itself, but I don't think as highly of life itself, my wife, and all the world as of your life. I would lose all of it. Yes, I would sacrifice everything to this devil standing here to rescue you. Portia, your wife wouldn't be too happy to hear that if she were around to hear you make that offer. Gratiano, I have a wife whom I swear I love. I wish she were dead and in heaven so that she could beg some holy power to come change this beastly Jew's mind. Nerissa, it's a good thing you are making this wish behind her back. Such a wish would upset her. Shylock, to himself, these men are such Christian husbands. I have a daughter and a wish, a descendant of Barabbas. I had married her rather than a Christian. We are wasting time. Please, let's hear the court's sentence. Portia, a pound of that merchant's flesh is yours. The court awards it, and the law gives it to you. Shylock, you are a most honest judge, Portia, and you must cut this flesh off, 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 off his, and you must cut this flesh off of his chest. The law allows it, and the court awards this to you. Shylock, such a wise judge. The right sentence. Come, get ready. Portia. Hold on a second. There is something else. This sacrament doesn't give you any drop of blood. The literal words are a pound of flesh. So take what is yours. Take your pound of flesh. But if in cutting it off you shed one drop of Christian blood, your hands and goods will be confiscated by the state of Venice, by the city's laws. Gratiano, what a just judge! Listen to her, Jew. Oh, you wise judge, Shylock. Is that the law, Portia? You will see for yourself, just as you are bent on absolute justice, rest assured that more justice than you want would be served for you. Gratiano, what a wise judge. Look, you, a wise judge. Shylock, I'll take this offer then. I'll untake three times the money and let this Christian man go. Bassanio, here is the money. Portia, wait. The Jew will have all his justice. Wait, don't rush this. He will have nothing but the penalty he asked for. Gratiano, oh Jew, this is an upright judge, a wise judge. Portia, so get ready to cut off the flesh, and don't shed any blood, and don't cut any more or less than exactly 1 pound of flesh. If you take more or less than a pound, even if it is just a 20th lighter or heavier than the tiniest measure, in fact, if the scale is off by so much as a hair, you will be sentenced to death, and all your goods will be confiscated. And this is the end of the sixth video. I will continue the rest of the play on the next video, that seventh video in continuation. Thank you for watching, and at the end, if you have not yet, please subscribe our channel and press the like and bell button to get the fresh ones. Thank you for watching. Have a nice time. Goodbye.